Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of the Underbed Railway project. It's been over 2 weeks since the last video, but life has been getting in the way. I've been chipping away at what I can in the time that I've had, and there has been quite a lot of progress. The baseboard is being worked on, as you're going to see in this video. The centre section of terrain has been built up, and some of the cardboard scenery buildings, bridges, tunnels, that sort of thing have also been built. There's lots still to do, but what you're going to see now is a catch up of everything I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, and I think you'll agree there's been quite a lot of progress and it's looking a lot better than it was. So without further ado, let's go and see what I've been doing. So if I take this piece as a reference and then I turn it over, this height is what I need to measure. And I'll come in with my square and I'm going to go up, not all the way to the top because I want a bit of room for the plaster and the wire mesh when I build it up on top. And I'll just lock that in place. And then I can take this to go and measure what I'm going to use to attach these two around the edge. And here we can see what I'm going to be attaching the walls to build up the centre. It is this 6mm flexible MDF. As you can see, it flexes excellently. So I just need to trim this down. It's a long length and that should give me what I need to run around the centre. Okay, so now we've got these two pieces cut, I can move on to attaching the wall. Now, I've cut two because I don't think one was quite long enough. But what we should have now is if I lay this on top, it should come to just the right height here. I might be able to see that a bit better if I just line the bottom up. This one, I've got just the right amount sticking out along this edge, so that's perfect. And these will be attached along the wall just like that, and then I'll be able to curve it round, so I won't actually attach these yet until it is curved. This piece would be a pain to curve, but this should sit on a straight section, so should this, and it'll just be these smaller sections where I should be able to get enough curve all the way around. So what I think I need to do is measure up where I need to cut one of these in half. Okay, so I've taken the wood that I just cut in the other room and I've attached it to one of the slanted walls on the far side of the layout. I just need to now form this into the correct shape so that I can attach the wire mesh onto the top and get it ready for landscaping. So down in the bottom right hand corner of the layout there on the screen, you can see that we've got that point motor which sticks out, and that's going to cause a little bit of an issue, but I'm hoping it does actually fit just within an arch. And because of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out that arch background and we're going to push it through there, and then we can bring the wall closer to the layout. Okay, so I've cut out one of these sections here and that should now sit over the point motor, and it does. So I just need to give it a little bit of a curve and attach it to this wood, and then we can form this into the correct shape. For anyone who's interested, this is the wire mesh that I will be using, and here is its dimensions. There we go. And it is a nice tight square mesh wire roll, which should be easy to form to create the landscape that I want.
Here you can see that I'm bending everything into place to give me the curve that I want around the track. And then I begin cutting the wire mesh to a width that is twice the height of the wood surrounding the edge of the layout. Once I bend a 90-degree angle into the wire mesh, I can then make some cuts into it so that I can bend it around the curve, as you can see. And then I cut a section out to create the slope for the end section. And as you can see here, it's meshed all the way around the edge, giving me a surface to connect the top to. Here I'm putting the end into place, and I've attached it all so far with screws and a bit of glue. Next, I need to file off and grind down some of the roof of the point motor housing, just so that that section will fit within the archway of the wall. And here I am just popping it into place, and it fits quite nicely. Then using some of the wire that was wrapped around the mesh when it was packaged up, I basically sew together the top section of wire to the edge that I've just created and bent the 90-degree angle into. And that gives quite a nice strong bond so that everything is held together. And as you can see, I'm just pulling it through with some pliers. Then the whole thing gets a coating of plaster bandage, and this took quite a while, and it took about 2 days to get this dry to a point where I could then move on. So this took quite a lot of time. And I'm just doing this on the kitchen floor, so it was quite messy. Then using some foam board, I've created the housing for the tunnel and just popped it all together with some foam board and a glue gun. As you can see, I'm just popping some. The glue is an instant bond. And then for the roof, I just used a bit of thin cardboard. There isn't a lot of space above this before you're reaching the underside of the bed. And there we go, just popping it into place before I give the entire layout a bit of a quick hoover, just to get up all the loose parts so that I can start putting this brown base coat of paint into place. And that just gives me something, a nice background and a good base coat for the rest of the scenics to go on top of. So I'm just using some cheap brown acrylic paint for this. And as you can see, it's not ideal going over the grass that's already stuck down, but it does give a good bit of texture, which is fine because it's going to have grass put on top of it anyway. Then once the plaster was dry, I could put the same brown paint down on top of the raised up section. And here you can see it's all in place. and it gives you the first look really at what we're going for with this layout. And here you can see we've got the centre section roughly into place, along with the tunnel, the bridge, and another raised up section in the far corner. So there's a little bit more terrain to be built up, and over the next week I'm hoping to get that finished off, and then I can put the roads and pathways into place before hopefully starting on some of the static grass. So that's what to expect in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.